Time for a drinky poo. Här hitta?
Anybody and everybody. So, like, the girl I was talking about, Dee Dee, her kid was expelled from school because he and his buddy were playing cops and robber on the bus, pointing fingers at each other like they were guns.
So? That's not a real fucking gun. Who cares?
He was expelled, and there's nothing she could do about it. And so the point is that that's fucking silly because we fucking evolved with males doing things. I mean, we evolved for interest-specific competition. We evolved to practice. When you're a kid, you're practicing things. You play soccer because what is that? That's coalition on coalition of competition, right? You're practicing. You're practicing the skills necessary for when you're an adult to do stuff. And so, cops and robbers is no different. I mean, we all fucking play cops and robbers with our fucking fingers. I mean, I never pointed.
I don't anymore, but I used to when I was a kid.
I do.
Usually we'd play
Darren
cowboys and Indians, but that's not very PC. A lot of people take sports seriously.
Curious. I mean, what is sports? Just like I said about cops and robbers, fucking interest-specific competition. It's who's interested in sports? Are girls really fucking? Do girls dig sports?
Some do.
But
in ancient Rome,
they would.
The gladiators would sleep with like the noble ladies. I mean, the noble ladies would pay the gladiators to have sex with them.
That sounds like fun. Then they were fucking slaughtered the next day. But
the top gladiators could
point
make
is,
stud bees.
all in all, the point is that well, what is even fucking being a gladiator? What is sports? Why do we engage in this? I think maybe God told us to. Maybe. No. Why do kids play?
Okay.
What is play? Why does Emu play? Emu plays. Why?
Development of hunting and survival.
Yeah, it's fucking rehearsing skills, practicing. Why are we so into sports? Is it just like a curious pastime that nobody can account for? No, people can account for it. Precisely. We have evolved behavioral, motivational dispositions to like group-on-group competition. That's what sports is. There are some individual sports. There are. Wrestling is one. But it's the same idea. It's male-on-male competition. I mean, how often do you actually see female-on-female wrestling? Other than something that's meant to turn you on. Meant to give you an erection. I mean,
you mean oil wrestling?
Oil wrestling or jello wrestling or mud wrestling, whatever. Doesn't matter. But the point is girls don't fucking do that in the same way men do. Men do it because they want to physically best somebody. Females do it because they're being paid to turn guys on. People would just place human behavior within the context of evolution. They would see that things make sense. Whereas when you look at the Bible, when you look at Christianity, or I don't know whether religions, all I know is Christianity because I was raised that way. It doesn't make sense. Things just don't fit like they fit evolutionary theory. Yeah, it's a theory. It is a theory, but in science, a theory is not a hypothesis. In science, a theory is something that's been tested over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
And the evidence supports it.
And you cannot disprove it. Now, it's not proven, but in science, nothing is proven. And that's the difference. In religion, they want to say everything is proven. So God is proven. God is God is absolute, but in science, nothing is absolute. That's the big fucking difference, is that we know that what we think is going to change. It's going to. But is it going to change from...
But the thing is, science doesn't have dogma. If some evidence fits the other evidence and it supports another conclusion, you move on to the next conclusion.
Precisely.
You weigh the evidence and you go, yes, it is time to change our thoughts.
Great.
You know, one time,
Precisely.
like your father, the doctor, the ER doctor, would be applying leeches to sick people, trying to get the bad blood out because they believe that's where disease came from. Okay? That's where science was wrong. They'll probably eventually have problems with open heart surgery. They'll go, oh, how they did it was so invasive. It was so barbaric. And people in 200-300 years will go, oh, I can't believe how backwards those people were.
I can't believe they just didn't use the fucking transporter system that fucking was involved with fucking the Star Trek The Next Generation. I mean, that's where it came from.
That's where the idea was based.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? And that's why I think science fiction is important, because I think it inspires real intelligent, constructive people to go, that is a cool idea.
Dude,
I wonder if that could be done.
Star Trek was based on a lot of scientific ideas that are not theories or hypotheses, and they're interesting because they are hypotheses. They have some logical basis,
and some will be disproven.
Well,
others might inspire people to think differently and to move on.
Precisely, and then we move on, and we're smarter for the fucking journey.
Where has Christianity gone in 2,000 years, and where has our science gone?
Well, how can it go somewhere? Because you're fucking based on a dogma. You're based on the Bible. The Bible is all-knowing because there's no challenge. There's no learning from the process. There's no anything. There's just this is right, this is wrong.
It doesn't teach you how to think.
Yeah, but what's curious is that it's not teaching you anything. I mean, the fucking Old Testament in and of itself will teach you one thing and then fucking dispute that and then try to teach you something else. I mean, the JED and P sources in the Old Testament in and of itself was one of the first defining moments in my Christian life that told me there's something wrong with this text.
Really?
Reading the Tanakh, which is a lot more pure version of the Old Testament. The Torah is similar. The Tanakh is written in a lot more pure version, basically. And the books are in a different order because they're in the way they originally were, not how they've been placed by modern people. What you find is that things don't make sense, and you find that like the authors use different perspectives: third person, second person, first person, and it changes, which is really funny that one author would change perspective when according to how people want to perceive it, it's the same person writing it, or it's inspired by the same person, God, or something. Yeah, God, whatever.
Yahweh.
Yeah.
That's the whole.
Well, Yahweh is how he was described in the text. Yahweh.
Although I don't think ancient Jews actually used the the consonant W. I think they said they. But, we took in our language, we changed it.
I think what's really funny is that in some parts, he was called Yahweh. In some parts, he was called other things.